Hello, dear friends, I'm with you. Tell me, do you like dragons? Personally, I just love them. It's a pity that there is only one dragon in Minecraft, and that one has to be killed. And how I would like to have such a pet, and fly it above the clouds, spewing flames at my enemies. Well, now my dream has come true, and it was implemented by a fairly new, successfully developing mod called Icefire, or Ice and Flame. The mod was created in April 2000 of the 17th year, and exists for versions 1.10.2, 1.11.2, and 1.12.2. What will our cubic world look like now? First of all, it will spawn a lot of new mysterious creatures. The main ones are, of course, dragons, which are divided into two classes: chilling and fire-breathing. Both are present in different colors. Among the fire-breathing dragons, there are gray, red, emerald, and bronze. Ice ones are blue, white, sapphire, and silver. In addition to dragons, there are also hippogriffs and pixies, both in different colors, Cyclops, Gorgons, as well as a new kind of inhabitants, the snow dweller. The mod also adds a whole lot of new items, a whole range of new features, as well as 2 new ores. But let's take it in order. At the beginning of the game, you will need to know about all the new creatures. Unlike many mods, you will not be given a manual at the beginning of the game. Crafting a book and getting all the knowledge at once will not work either. That is, you can craft it, but for this you will have to first plunder the dragon's nest. In principle, it is not necessary to fight with a dragon at the beginning of the game, and moreover, it is not recommended. Wait until the dragon flies away or falls asleep. Yes, in this fashion, dragons go to bed at night, which, however, will not prevent them from waking up if you are not careful enough. Having pulled out all the gifts from the dragon's chests, most of all, take care of these torn leaves, because it is with their help that you will gain all the necessary knowledge. Put the first 3 pieces of paper on the workbench in any order. You will receive a book called Bestiary. But don't be happy. There's nothing in it yet but a preface. On the penultimate page of the preface, there is a crafting of the chair. This is a stand for a book on which you will add pages to your directory. It is done this way, without the tiara. It is placed in the leftmost slot. The pages are placed down and, as you can see, the process of pasting pages into the book has begun. The more pages you paste in, the more complete your directory will be. Already in the introduction, you will be shown 2 new ores, silver and sapphire. From the first one, you can get silver ingots and craft armor, weapons and tools from it, especially effective against the undead. Sapphires are the same emeralds, only blue. A joke. Not really. Only blocks similar in texture to emeralds can be crafted from them, but sapphires are used as currency when trading with snow dwellers. These creatures are quite interesting. Even outwardly, they differ from the villagers we are used to. They have 3 professions: shaman, fishermen, and craftsmen. Snow dwellers have very unusual and profitable offers. I will tell you only about the most important ones among them. First of all, and this is a spear for fishing, which you can get by canceling the fisherman. With him, you will be left with a rich catch in any puddle. With its help, fishing is very easy. Hold down the right mouse button and release, and the spear harpoons the fish. But do not rush to shout in chorus, cheating, because the spear breaks down pretty quickly and, unlike a fishing rod, catches only fish. In addition to the spear, we can get trade and snowmen, ice dragon blood, bones from the dryer, the very manuscripts we need, and basic bestiaries. So if you don't want to rob the dragon's nest, then you can do with a simple trade. Traveling around the world, it doesn't hurt for you to know about a few more creatures that appear in the fashion of Eyes and Fi. In the dark forest, you can now come across a pixie. By themselves, they are not aggressive. They are fluttering like colorful moths, shouting something funny with their squeaky voices. And they have beautiful, cute houses that you want to take with you to decorate your garden. However, This is not the time to gape before you get an axe to cut down the house. They will steal the axe from you and something else at the same time. True, they will level everything to the ground when you attack them. That is, if you attack, because it's not easy to get them. If you kill a pixie, pink dust falls out of it. If you eat this dust, you can levitate, though not for long. It is best to use this dust to prepare ambrosia. Ambrosia imposes 4 effects of the 3rd level at once: jumping, absorption, luck, and strength. The duration of the effects is 3 minutes. Pixies don't have to be killed. It's best to put them in a jar, crafting cans like this. If you hold a jar in your hand and click on the pixie with the right mouse button, then it will fall into the jar. However, if you are not quick enough, the pixies will steal a jar from you. You can make friends with pixies. They are very fond of sweets, so if you throw them a cake and wait a little, then the pixie who picks up the cake will become your friend. She can wait or follow you. You can make pixies wait by right-clicking on it. The pixie that follows you puts a potion effect on you depending on her color. Of the relatively friendly creatures, hippogriffs can also be noted. In fact, they are predators and attack prey that is smaller than themselves, but they can be tamed if you throw them their favorite treat, rabbit paws. In survival mode, the trick is not easy. Hippogriffs are not allowed to get close to themselves, and catching them so that they notice the bait will be a whole quest. But when the hippogriff grabs her, consider it yours. After eating a rabbit's foot, the hippogriff will lie down. You can sneak up on him, right-click and ride him, put on armor, or even hang a chest on him. The hippogriff armor, by the way, is made of horse armor and feathers. To make the hippogriff wait or wander, use an ordinary stick. Homemade hippogriffs can be propagated by feeding them stewed rabbit meat. Do not forget to make sure that the individuals you are trying to breed are of different sexes. Otherwise, it is unlikely that you will succeed. It is also advisable to breed hippogriffs in a closed enclosure, otherwise they may fly away. And now let's move on to more serious creatures. Cyclops are huge creatures that live in spherical caves, usually on the seashore. Inside the caves are the remains of the Cyclops meal and some of the treasures. Cyclops hate everyone and everything, but they love sheep very much, and the sheep love them. Sheep flock to the Cyclops. With people, and with almost all other creatures, Cyclops act just brutally. They trample on them or bite off their heads. To overcome a Cyclops in close combat is not an easy task. It is best to blind him with a bowshot and only then approach. The second option is to disguise yourself as a sheep. Stick wool on your leather armor like this and sneak past the Cyclops, so you will be practically invisible to him. Gorgons are another pug, which personally delighted me indescribably, and now I'm going to tell you why. Gorgons are extremely rare, which makes them especially valuable. They live in such dungeons. I do not advise even to go there unprepared. Under no circumstances do you look Gorgoni in the face, otherwise you will turn to stone. Look at your feet, and best of all, craft a blindfold. After killing the Gorgon, you will get her head as a drop. It was for the sake of this very head that we risked our lives. You can use the head only once, but how? I use my head in the creative so that you can appreciate its coolness. As you can see, the Gorgon's head is not only a formidable weapon, but also a wonderful tool in the hands of a skilled designer. I'm not much of a designer, but even with my mediocre skills, I managed to create several original compositions. Here, for example, is a composition that I called Friends of a Person. It contains our most beloved pets. But the player in this sculptural composition is also symbolized by a petrified inhabitant. It is also not a complicated composition of the shepherd of his flock. Note that all of these statues are entities, and their properties are preserved. This can be both an advantage and a disadvantage. An example of this is how even the sheep will be drawn to the petrified Cyclops in droves, and zombies will surround the petrified inhabitant, which I successfully used in my next sculpture, Love and Angels. By the way, Pixies and Vredens act as angels here. There is an interesting tank with fossils of some mobs. This is true of bats and parrots, which, if petrified in flight, will not stop flapping their wings and soaring. I used this property in the composition of the Perpetua Mobile, or perpetual motion machine. By the way, these eternally rotating stones are octopuses. And in the end, appreciate the beauty of another of my creations, a dragon over a lava lake. And here's a little riddle for you. Guess what kind of creatures they were before I turned them into stone? Write your answers in the comments. Well, now let's move on to the main characters of the mod, the dragons themselves. As I have already mentioned, dragons are divided into chilling and fire-breathing. They spawn all over the world, chilling in cold biomes, fire-breathing in all others. Dragon nests can often be found near villages. And these very villages are often attacked by dragons. Dragons come in different levels. The most common are third-level dragons. It is their nests that you will find here and there on the surface. These dragons are extremely strong, so you can't beat them without good equipment. After defeating the dragon, you will get from him a shot, scales, head, bones, hearts, and meat. The scales can be used to create a beautiful armor like mine. How do we collect all this stuff from a slain dragon? And it's done like this. With an empty hand, right-click on the dragon, and first the scales begin to fall off, then the meat and the heart. And there remains a skeleton that can be disassembled into bones and a skull. By the way, a dead dragon will not disappear anywhere until it is shot. The dragon's skull is needed to crack the staff or to decorate the interior with it. Dragon bones are used to create dragon horns and flutes, as well as tools and weapons that are better than diamond ones. Up to dragons can be eaten, but it will set you on fire or slow you down, depending on the type of dragon. In addition, you can get up to 6 bottles of dragon blood from one carcass, but you will have to sacrifice scales. But you will be able to craft such a beautiful sword, which not only deals 9.5 units of damage, but also gives additional damage to dragons of the opposite type. The dragon heart has no use yet, but it looks good nonetheless. I think that in the future, the developers will tell us the secret of why the dragon's heart is present in the game. Deep in the caves, you can come across a tax dragon of the 4th or even 5th level. We are interested in these dragons not only because of their scales and bones. Of these dragons, provided of course that it is a female, you can sometimes get an egg, and it is from these very eggs that we will hatch a domestic dragon. The egg of a fire-breathing dragon needs to be heated with fire. Ice put in water. After a while, such a booger will hatch. This booger must be protected, fed, loved, and protected in every possible way. It can be controlled with the help of the aforementioned staff and transported by means of a dragon horn. Let's try it. That's how, by pressing the right mouse button, holding the staff in our hand, we force the dragon to stay in place or wander. If we sit down and right-click with an empty hand, we will see information about our pet. You can give him a name with a regular tag. As you can see, our NATO dragon is a boy and is still very weak. He has only 20 healthy units, and he is hungry. It does not interfere with feeding him. In general, dragons eat meat, while chilling ones prefer fish. But you can make special feeds, from which our dragon will grow and gain strength. And you can also do it like this, or even like this. Look, I'm cool. I'm just like Daenerys' story burn. Well, that's it. Now you can go win the Iron Throne. And I'm not afraid of any White Walkers. I put the dragons on myself with the right mouse button, but to remove them, you need to assign a key. The default value is X, but since I already have this key in use, I will reassign it. While the dragons are in the first stage, I can carry them on myself, but already from the second, they become too heavy, and I have to stuff them into my mouth to transfer them from place to place. Holding the horn in your hand, right-click on the dragon, and it will be inside. Starting from the 3rd level, you can ride a dragon, but you can even put armor on a cub. The book says that the armor is crafted as usual, only from blocks. Don't believe them. They didn't lie about the blocks, but they were clever with crafting. Crafts are like this. If you forgot to land the dragon and it soared into the air, or you fell, but it remained at the top, then blow the flute, and the dragon will land. Dragons are capable of spewing fire or icy breath, spitting fire or ice balls, shaking prey in their teeth. The higher the dragon's level, the more attacks they have, and the stronger these attacks are. Adult dragons are considered from the 4th level. It is from this level that they can be multiplied. To do this, you will need to find these flowers. 4 breeding fire-breathing dragons, red ones, 4 chilling ones, blue ones. You will have to craft potions from these flowers. Crafting, by the way, is also not easy. We'll have to go to hell for the rods of the Ifrit and dive into the underwater fortress for the prismarine crystals. Feed the male and female dragons with potions, and the female will lay an egg. Well, you already know what to do with the egg. However, if you don't want to have even more dragons, then you can craft a rack like this and put an egg on it as an interior decoration. I don't know about you, but for me this mod caused a storm of positive emotions. All the creatures in this mod are very elaborate. Dragons are great. Gorgon heads are beyond praise. Cyclops inspire inhuman horror, and griffins are just millas. By the way, the developer is thinking of adding even more creatures, such as mermaids and nagas. Well, You all know about the first ones, and the second ones are snake people. Mythical hippocampal seahorses, the same ones that pull the chariot of Neptune. Apparently, they can be ridden underwater, but it will not be easy to tame them. Then there are the death worms. Apparently, the film Trembling of the Earth is taken as an analog, or maybe some kind of book about a dune. Basilisks are rooster snakes. When you look at them, your life gradually leaves you. The Stymphalian birds are those that pelted Hercules with sharp feathers. Trolls. Well, there are no comments. Everyone knows these characters anyway. The world of mechs is such very cruel insect-like creatures. Sea snakes, apparently, are very large, and Amphipteria are flying snakes with a dragon's head. I hope you liked the Eisenfy mod. I will leave a link to it in the description, and I'm waiting for feedback from you about my video, dragon and griffin likes, and a subscription. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, that's the end of it for today. See you soon, dear friends. Bye-bye.